What's up, YouTube? Team Movies here with American Horror Story 1984 premiering on FX tonight. Since American Horror Story 1984 also features actress Emma Roberts, who is the daughter of actor Eric Roberts, and she's also the niece of Julia Roberts. I decided to do my top 10 favorite Emma Roberts' projects because, granted, she actually has TV she's been in TV shows that I've also enjoyed, so I'm actually gonna mainly talk about her TV shows as well as her film career. And I gotta say, Emma Roberts is not that bad of an actress. I think she could be, when she's on her game, she could be really talented. I mean, granted, she's not as good as her aunt Julia Roberts and all, but she's still a high level actress, and she's proven time to time that she could be really solid. So with that being said, here's my 10 favorite Emma Roberts projects. Alright, coming in at number 10 is going to be a film called Palo Alto. The film stars Emma Roberts as this shy, sensitive girl named April, who is also the class version and a popular soccer player, and she's also the babysitter for her single dad coach, Mr. B. So she pretty much takes care of Mr. B's kid, and Mr. B is played by James Franco. And there's also like some intense relation that happens between Franco's character and Emma Roberts' character. Then a few other storylines here. You got Teddy, played by Val Kilmer's son, Jack Kilmer, who's a intro-passive artist who ends up befriending with this other kid who's his sidekick named Fred, played by Nat Wolff, who's pretty much an unpredictable live who pretty much wired with few flitters and boundaries and all. And so like April ends up navigating a dangerous affair with Mr. B, while Teddy performs community service for a DUI he has. And he also secretly carries a torch for April, who actually may or may not share his affection. And so like Fred ends up seducing this loner named Emily, played by Zoe Levin, who ends up seeking validation through sexual encounters and all. And so this is it's a weird, messed up film. I mean, it's like a film version of that show of Euphoria. It literally feels like Euphoria love. And it's directed by Gia Coppola, who I believe is like the daughter or granddaughter of Francis Ford Coppola. I know she's part of the Coppola clan. You also had people like Chris Messina. Val Kilmer was also in this. Val Kilmer actually played a principal. That's pretty cool there. And I thought Emma Roberts was really good here. I thought she had really decent performance. Her like on-screen chemistry with James Franco was pretty decent. I really liked their chemistry together. And Emma Roberts had some interesting dialogue here. If you guys haven't seen Palo Alto yet, it is actually based on a short book that Franco also written. So it's actually based on one of Franco's books here. It's really good. I mean, there are some very intenseful moments here, but it's a really decent film. Go check out Palo Alto if you guys haven't seen that. Alright. Coming in at number 9 is going to The Winning Season. Now, the film takes place in suburban Indiana, and the film stars Sam Rockwell as Bill Graves, who is like a adult misfit who is recruited by the local high school principal, played by Rob Corddry, to coach the school's girls basketball team. And so pretty much, Bill preserves and manages to help the team, and his captain, played by Emma Roberts, ratchet up its competitive spirit, while the girls offer Bill a renewed life focus. So I guess you could say it's like Bring It On, except with basketball instead of cheerleading. That's what Wing Season is sort of similar to. And other people in this, you also got Emily Rios was in this, Margot Martindale. Some pretty good cast members was in this. And it's it's a very underrated basketball film. I mean, the movie does not have a great score on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, I think it only is in its 20 or I think it's only in its 20s or I think 30s or something like that. But the winning season is a really nice little film. Sam Rockwell played the coach really well. I liked his dedication to the team. Hold on. Yeah, I'll just talk about it. I liked his dedication with the girls basketball team and all. And Emma Roberts, she played her character pretty well. I mean, and her like interaction with Sam Rockwell is pretty good. I mean, if you guys never seen the winning season, it's really good. All right, now coming in at number 8, it's actually a TV show, and it's a short-lived Fox series, and it's a really good horror series, by the way. It is called Scream Queens. Now, Scream Queens is created by Glee creator Ryan Murphy, and it takes place at this Wallace University that's rocked by a string of murders. And so, like at the Kappa House, the most sought after sororities for pledges, and its leader is this girl named Chanel Oberlin, played by Emma Roberts, and you also got Jamie Lee Curtis as the dean here, who's trying to track down who the killer is and all. And we of course find out who the killer is in season 1. Then season 2 rolls around, and there's a new like a copycatter there. And like this is a really funny, dark comedy TV series. Sadly, it didn't last so long, but I really wish it lasted more because it was really clever. I mean, I think it probably would have been better if it premiered on a different station. So, on like, I think the show should premiere on maybe FX or maybe Netflix or whatever. Now, I heard rumors that they might actually bring Scream Queens back, probably, but I say they should bring it to Netflix. I think this will be definitely something better that Netflix should pick up. And the cast members that appeared on Scream Queens also includes people like Leah Michelle, Kiki Palmer, Ariana Grande, Carrie Fisher's daughter, Billy Lord, Glenn Powell, Nick Jonas, Skylar Samuels. You also had Niecy Nash. Taylor Lautner appeared on this. John Stamos, Chrissy Alley. I mean,
I guess that's just like
you have some pretty interesting cast members, and the killer, of course, has like a devil mask, and costume on. I really quite like that costume. I mean, I kind of wish I would totally wear that costume for Halloween. That devil mask, costume thing. But you never really found that costume anywhere. But still, Scream Queens is yeah, Scream Queens is awesome. Just stinks it only lasted for 2 seasons. I wish it lasted more seasons, but it is what it is, I guess. But if you guys never seen Scream Queens, I believe both seasons are on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. All right, coming in at number 7 is a film called It's Kind of a Funny Story. Now, this is a really interesting. This has a really cool cast list. People in this includes Kurt Gilchrist, who's of course best known for that show Atypical, which I love Atypical. You also had Zach Galifianakis, Zoe Kravitz, Viola Davis, Jim Gaffigan, Jeremy Davis. Some really cool cast members. And the film, it's about this 16-year-old named Craig Gilner, played by Gilchrist, who ends up checking himself into a mental health clinic. But unfortunately, his like wing ends up the youth wing is closed, so he must like spend his mandate 5 days with adults, and one of them ends up being this guy named Bobby, played by Zach Galifianakis, who pretty much becomes like his mentor and all. And so like Craig also finds himself pretty much falling for this other girl named Noelle, played by Emma Roberts, who may just be like the cure he needs to pretty much forget his past crush. And Kara Gilchrist and Emma Roberts, they both played off each other well. And Zach Galifianakis was great in this. I mean, it shows that Zach Galifianakis could do more than just straight up comedy. This is actually the movie that made me think that, hey, this Hangover dude could act. I mean, he's not just the guy you know that he's just not the dumb guy you know from Hangover, but this guy could be pretty good when he really wants to be. And yeah, it's kind of a funny story. It's a really nice little film. If you guys never seen it's a kind of funny story yet, it's a really good one. And not to mention, it's directed by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, who also gave us Captain Marvel. So there's that too. So yeah, kind of underrated too. I mean, the film got released in 2010, and not many people really talk about it. But it's a really good film. All right, coming in at number 6 is another TV show, and I quite, it's not really one of the best Nickelodeon shows, but I quite enjoyed it when, back in the days. And my number 6 is a Nickelodeon show called Unfabulous. I mean, this had some really cool cast members. I mean, you had Emma Roberts, you had Melissa Joe, you had Jordan Calloway, Raja Fenska. I mean, it's really good. Like, it's one of Emma Roberts' earliest TV gigs, and she plays this 7th grader named Addie Singer, who writes songs about her life in junior high school, and she has best friends named Gina Fabiano, played by Melis Jaw, who is like interested in fashion and designs her own clothes. And then there's like this committed school basketball player named Zach, played by Jordan Calloway, and they all attend like this Rocky Road middle school in an unspecific East Coast city. And so like you got Tata guy Kelly, who plays Addie's older brother, who pretty much works at a Juice, who's pretty much works at this place called Juice, which is a smoothie bar where Addie and her friends often hang out after school and all. And it's not, like I said, it's not really the best one of Nickelodeon's best shows or anything, but I still really enjoyed it. You really connected with these characters. Emma Roberts was pretty good here. Lots of the other characters are great. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Unfabulous, it's a really decent show. I mean, it'd be cool seeing Emma Roberts bring the show back. I mean, it'll be cool to see what these characters have been doing, since the show ended. But yeah, I'll love to see another. I mean, if she's not always busy with American Horror Story, I say Emma Roberts should see about starting a revival of Unfabulous. It's a really decent show. All right, coming in at number 5 is another really underrated gem, and that is a film called The Art of Getting By. Now, The Art of Getting By stars Freddie Highmore as this teen named George, who's like a lonely teen who's made it all the way to his senior year without ever having done a real day of work, and he ends up befriending with this girl named Sally, played by Emma Roberts, who's kind of like who he ends up spending loads of time with, and she's a very kinded spirit and all, and they get along together pretty good, and there's also like a romance that blossoms between the two as well. And I really like the chemistry between Freddie Highmore and Emma Roberts. It was also directed by this director named Gavin Wisen. You also had Steven Spielberg's daughter, Sasha Spielberg. And Dad was in this. You also had Ruth Wilson, Michael Angelinario, Alicia Silverstone was in this. Some really good supporting players. But it's the chemistry between Highmore and Roberts that really makes this film worth it. And the film also doesn't really have didn't have that great reviews. Like it only has, I believe, only a 15% Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, it's a really good, nice little film. If you guys never seen The Art of Getting By, give it a go. It's really good. All right. Coming in at number 4 is this film called Nerve. Now, I was surprised at how good Nerve was. Like, when the trailers was released, I thought this movie looked just paint by the number terrible. I thought it looked like a bad film for stars. So I wasn't all that excited for it. But then I saw Nerve in theaters, and I was like, this movie is actually pretty good. And it had a really cool premise too. It's about this high school senior named V, played by Roberts, who has been like living on the sidelines, and she ends up being pressured by friends to join this popular online game called Nerve. And V ends up deciding to sign up for just pretty much for just one dare, and which seems like harmless fun, but as she like ends up finding herself caught up in the drill of the online feuded competition, she ends up being partnered by this mysterious stranger played by Dave Franco, and the game ends up taking a sinister turn where they like do dangerous acts, like they pretty much ride on a bike through a pretty much on a highway, and the acts in this it's pretty nuts. I mean, it is also from the same directors who gave us the Catfish movie. There's that. I also the chemistry between Emma Roberts and Dave Franco is pretty cool. Uh, yeah, Nerve. It's one crazy job ride. I mean, you even had for some reason you even had Machine Gun Kelly was even in this. Who, I mean, Machine Gun Kelly is okay. Yeah, I mean, you had Juliette Lewis was in this. I mean, some interesting cast members was involved here. And, like I said, I thought this movie was going to be horrible, but it turned out to be one of the surprise movies of that year. I really quite got a kick out of Nerve. And if you guys never seen Nerve by now, it's a really good one. I mean, it's pretty much like, not to mention, it's also kind of like a Truth or Dare based movie, So, yeah, it's like Truth or Dare, but without the truth. And it's just for dare. So, yeah. Alright, coming in at number 3, I'm going with the film Aquamarine. Now, Aquamarine, got released in 2000. I think it got released in 2006 or 7, or I think 2005, around those. I know it came out in early 2000. And it's about these two teen girls played by Roberts as well as JoJo, who ends up finding this mermaid named Aquamarine, played by Sarah Paxton, who's kind of like a fish out of water scenario, and the only way she'll be able to pretty much become she has to end up falling in love in order for her to go back to her real world and all. And so she ends up falling for this guy named Raymond, played by Jake McDormand, who's this lifeguard at a nearby beach, and she ends up learning. And you also got Ariel Cabell as like the pretty much the mean girl who wants Aquamarine to stay away from her man and all. You guys know how that is. And I really love Aquamarine. It's like a weird version of Little Mermaid in a way. Like it literally felt like a live action Little Mermaid film. It was also directed by this director named Elizabeth Allen, who I know did a really cool job at directing this. I really like the female friendship between the three girls, between JoJo, Sarah Paxton, and Emma Roberts. I mean, JoJo doesn't really do much movies anymore. I mean, I've always liked JoJo, not because we share the same last name, by the way, but I've always, her acting wasn't always top notch, but I always thought she was pretty decent in Aquamarine and RV, but I really quite like her music a lot more. I think she's awesome. But anyway, and but Sarah Paxton as a mermaid, what more can you ask for? She was a pretty cool mermaid here, and Elizabeth Allen, I thought did a pretty cool job at directing. I mean, Emma Roberts, I really loved her chemistry between JoJo and Sarah Paxton, and yeah, it's a really nice, charming little film. Like, if you guys never seen Aquamarine by now, I say give it a go. It's a really good one. What? Alright, my number 2 favorite Emma Roberts movie is going to We're the Millers. I love We're the Millers. I mean, here you've got Jason Sudeikis, who plays this small-time pot dealer named David Burke, who ends up who has to bring like this supply of drugs to a border of pretty much of Mexico and all, and so he can't really go there by himself, or else he'll be suspicious. So he ends up hiring this stripper named Rose, played by Jennifer Aniston, and these wannabe customers named Kenny, played by Will Poulter, and this teen named Casey, played by Emma Roberts, who pretend to be his fake family. And so they end up driving an RV they end up driving a RV to Mexico to return to get the goods and all. And I quite love We're the Millers. It's such a really fun R-rated raunchy comedy. I mean, Jason Sudeikis was great. Emma Roberts, I loved Emma Roberts in this. I mean, even though they weren't actually family members in the movie, you could tell the father and daughter dynamic chemistry between Sudeikis and Roberts. Will Poulter was at his best. I love Will Poulter in this. You also had Nick Hoffman. You had Catherine Hahn was in this. The girl from Castle was also in this movie too. I love Where the Millers and still wish we get a sequel, but I don't know if that will ever happen. But yeah, crazy to believe that Where the Millers was released in 2013, and wow, this game when by 2023, Where the Millers is gonna be 10 years old. By the way, just throw that out there. But anyway, yeah, definitely go check out Where the Millers if you guys haven't seen it. Alright, my favorite Emma Roberts project of all time is actually going to Scream 4. Directed by the late, great Wes Craven. I mean, Scream 4 was awesome. I mean, here, of course, Emma Roberts plays the niece to Sidney. And, of course, the Ghostface Killer is targeting lots of people that Sidney knows, you know, um, including Jill as well as her friends and the whole town and all. And I freaking love Scream 4. I'm not gonna lie, I literally saw Scream 4 in theaters about 4 times when it got released. I was like, hey, you know what? There's Scream 4 in theaters. I'm seeing the movie 4 times. I quite enjoy it. That's how much I enjoy Scream 4. Didn't it have the the same charm at the same publicity as the first Scream did? Maybe not. It wasn't as great as the first Scream, but I still got a kick out of it. And of course, oh man, should I do this without? I'm trying to know how I could maybe talk about this without spoiling. Because I don't. All right, you know what? Scream 4 has been released since 2011, so if you guys still haven't seen it by now, you probably have no intention of seeing it. So I'm just gonna just spoil it. All right, I'm gonna spoil Scream 4. So if you guys still haven't seen Scream 4, mute this, fast forward it, whatever. I'm gonna just spoil Scream 4 because it's a little bit hard to talk about Scream 4 without spoiling it. Alright, this spoiler is the killer, the person who turns out to be the Ghostface killer ends up being Jill. And Emma Roberts, she goes in on out when she plays Jill. She's trying to frame, she's pretty much trying to be like the hero, so she ends up, killing Sidney and all that. Well, granted, Sidney doesn't die, so there's that. And she also ends up killing her own mother in this. She ends up killing her ex-boyfriend. She ends up killing Roy Culkin's character, which he was a little bit annoying, so no loss there. So, yeah, Emma Roberts was nuts. Hold on. I'll just talk louder. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, Emma Roberts was crazily nuts in this movie. I mean, she tried to make it look like the killer tried to tore her hair off, made it look like the killer stabbed her and all. I mean, she went she went full on nutty mode in this. And I really quite loved Emma Roberts' performance. I know she really played the nutty really well. And I really got kicked out of Scream 4. I mean, I'm still hoping we get Scream 5, but I'm not sure if that's going to really happen, but we'll see. I mean, really, the Scream we had for VH1, that's the closest thing we'll ever get to a Scream 5. So, yeah, but still, Emma Roberts in Scream 4 was cool to watch. So, and I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw Scream 4, I seriously didn't see that twist coming. I mean, I was trying to predict who the killer was. I did not get that it was. I did not really saw that it was gonna be Jill that time. So yeah. All right, but that's pretty much it. Let me let me do the quick rundown. 10. Palo Alto. 9. The winning season. 8. Scream Queens. 7. It's kind of a funny story. 6. Unfabulous. 5. The art of getting by. 4. Nerve. 3. Aquamarine. 2. We're the Millers. 1. Scream 4. Now, there's loads of other projects that Emma Roberts has been in that I probably could mention. There's, of course, the American Horror Story series. She's been great on those. Wild Child is more of a guilty pleasure. Little Italy, the film that she did with Hayden Christensen, that movie sucked. Oh, Nancy Drew. I quite like that Nancy Drew movie. I totally should have had that one on my list. Hotel for Dogs, it's not that great, but I'm actually looking forward for The Hunt, but God knows if that movie's even ever going to come out now. Billionaire Boys Club with Asa Elgort. You know, I still haven't seen that movie yet. I've been wanting to see it, but Valentine's Day she was in. She was also in the terrible movie Ugly Dolls. She was in Adult World with Evan Peters and John Cusack. Empire State with Dwayne Johnson and Liam Hemsworth. She was pretty good in the movie Ashby with Mickey Rourke. I Am Michael, which also had James Franco in it. She was in that. She was in the film 12, which was a Soderbergh film with 50 Cent and all. She was in the movie Virginia. Limelight, which also featured Rory Culkin in it. So Emma Roberts been in some pretty decent stuff. Not everything she's been in was gold, but she's been in some pretty cool, interesting projects. But let me leave it to you guys. What are some of your favorite Emma Roberts projects, whether it's her film work or her TV work? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here, C Movie signing off.